Hi, it's Squidgy here, contentmachine3.com. I asked a specific question, and one that probably does need answering for a typical campaign with Content Machine. How many sources does it go to, and how many images and things does it find? Now, I don't tend to use the images or the videos because I find my own, or I actually create my own and link to those, because that's the added value with Content Machine, which I'll put in the post that goes along with this, how you should really use your own images and videos. But it is a very good question, and this is it. This was actually for motorbikes, mopeds and scooters were the three keywords used on this campaign. And what it's got running, searching for content, it's found 1,523 sources for your keywords, and that's sites. Now, they could all be sites on the same sort of platform, but it means you're going to get at least 1,523 source articles. Some of them may only be 200 or 300 words, others may be well over 1,000. In practice, sort of average around 450 to 550, depending on the keyword you're using. I've noticed there is some variation because certain keywords lend themselves to very short articles and have been spammed by like short article things. And the spammier the keyword, often the shorter the article is. You get lots of 5 things about you never knew about puppy grooming, 5 things you didn't know about weight loss, 5 ways to spend your time waiting for the next Warcraft expansion, or whatever those sort of really spamming areas are, and other things that are more have discursive or narrative going on with them, and they could be substantially longer. The other question I was asked is how long does it take? Now, I'm not going to make a video showing how long it takes, because it does take a while to set up a campaign properly this large, and it's spinning as well. It's using Word AI standard spinner. Tends to take about 10 or 12 minutes to actually just do the spinning, because it's spinning 1,500 articles, which would make it impractical to use for something like the Turing spinner unless you had a much smaller set. But for the standard spinner, it takes quite a while. Sort of, it's a few minutes to get more together. Because remember, it doesn't just spin them normally; it actually then mashes them all up into. It doesn't take an article and spin it within itself. It spins it and creates these mashups with paragraphs from one article interlinked with another, and it becomes very, very complex. The other thing I'll show you is I don't put, and I mentioned this before in a previous video, I don't tend to put any links in the article. The reason for that being that I tend to let whatever tool I'm using put the links in. So there's your answer. The 1,500 is about typical, though it does depend on your keywords. I've very rarely had it under 1,000. I have had ones in the high 900s, to be fair, but against that I sometimes have it close to 2,000. I don't think I've ever had it over 2,000. 1,500 is a very good average. So there we go. I will note underneath a few bits and bobs. There we are. It's cracking on now. I will note underneath in the article along with this on contentmachine3.com how you would best use your own content to link to rather than scraped ones, and how you add that. Other than that, very simple, and this is the idea of the scale and scope of Content Machine 3. Squidgy signing off.